Welcome back. So let's just have a look at the update because we still have a missing piece of the puzzle right here. Let's just, first of all, get all customers right here, or get customer 1. And you notice he has 2 orders available right now. So how would I remove an order from that customer? Well, I could go in and remove it using the customer REST API, but what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to say, dear order, you shouldn't have a customer anymore. So let's just get rid of it in an update, right? So now I remove the relation to the customer in the update. And I do a put request, I put in one here and I put in one here, and it should just work. Let's just do a send, and notice the response seems that the customer is now null. Perfect. But when I don't go and get the customer again, the relation has not been removed. There's something wrong. The relation is still there. So we need to figure out why that is the case. And actually what we can do is we can jump back to our code right here. If there is a customer not null right here, then we'll get in here. But what if the customer is null? We didn't do anything about that. So let's just do an else statement right here and say else. If there's a null customer, what should we do? Well, we're going to again use the context, right? And we're going to try and get the entry that we want to kind of change here, and that's the order to update. That's the entry that we want to make a change on. And we have to explain to the system that there's a very specific property on this guy, a reference actually, to be more precise. There's a reference on this object that I want to specify that has been modified. So I've changed a reference on this object right here. The reference that I've changed is, let's just start out by saying we have an order here, right? And the reference that I've changed on that order is the customer, right? So I can say that that guy is modified. I'll make that true to kind of explain that's the case. And that's actually what I have to do. I have to explain to the system that I've changed this entry right here, this specific reference. There's also properties here if you want to, right? So you can do the same for a property if you've changed a specific property. But update should take care of that itself. It's only when it's references you might have some problems. So this should be all I had to do. Let's try and see if this actually runs now. Jumping back into the Postman right here and just doing a request to get all orders. There we go, they look fine. Making the same put request like before, where I kind of try and remove the reference or the relation to the customer. There we go, it looks fine here. Let's just try and go back to the customer and see if we actually got rid of it. We did, perfect. Now if I want it back, I can just go back in here and just do a comma and just add the customer again, right? So just add the relation once more. Just like we had before, I'll add the ID of 1 again. There we go, I'll do a send, and hopefully when I come back here, I get again, the customer will be back, right? Now if I want to move it, let's just do that. I want to change this to actually 2 now instead of 1. I'll do the send, and you'll notice again, it's gone from 1 and jumped over to 2. We are pretty much starting to have a pretty strong update right here running. So that is it for this lesson. Now you guys know how you can work with a full update. It's all up and running. Now there are other ways to use these entries, not only with references, but you can also use it with properties if you want to. You can go and read about that yourself and dive into it. There's a lot of great guides on that on the web. So see you next time. Have fun.